guys, my name is Attorney Walter, if not the third. I'm going to move this camera a little bit over there. There we go. We're going to be doing something a little bit different with this video. Specifically, I'm going to be focusing on farming. Now, I grew up on a horse farm that was surrounded by farming farms. You know, farming farms in the sense of making food, you know, corn, wheat, all kinds of stuff. Lots of crops, big machines. I grew up around big tractors, Kubotas, and John Deeres and all kinds of stuff. But now, things like John Deere and other tractors are coming out with robots. Okay, are the new farm hands. And it's about time. They've had this a while, actually, but they're becoming more affordable as it goes on. But kind of the bottom line is I want to go through this because retired and disabled individuals, one of the main factors that's incredibly important that a lot of people aren't thinking about is how much is food going to increase by over the next 5 years? How do we make the production and distribution of food cheaper to keep the cost of living adjustment down so that people's quality of life continues to slowly rise as opposed to what it's been doing for the past 30 years of going down? Okay, let's see. And some people will argue, oh no, it's been going up. Oh no. No, that's just technology jumping in with cell phones and lithium batteries and things like that. But the actual true freedoms and quality of life, the standards of which your family had acres and acres of land, and then your family now has no acres of land and maybe a postage stamp, your actual ownership rights have significantly decreased, and let's call it like it is, there's more depressed and anxious people in this country than ever before. So before you jump on me and say, oh, you're wrong, just think about it. You know, take a moment. All right, so this article was done by Axios. Joanne Mueller, author of What's Next, but it's from the Axios website. Specifically, robots are the new farmhands. Let's get into it. John Deere tractor outfitted with Bear Flag robotics, autonomous driving technology. Yeehaw. I put in the yeehaw. Artificial intelligence and automation are the new farmhands as growers try to boost productivity amid soaring global demand for food, biofuels, and other agricultural products. Now look, this is for machines that can automate it. And these machines that basically do what farmhands used to do have been around for a very long time. So by adding essentially a driverless system to it isn't really going to change it that much because the machine used to be able to do all the stuff that's currently doing. There's just not a driver in it like it used to have. Let me state again. The special machine that would do some function of producing the corn that's needed has been around for decades. Now they're just talking about getting rid of the driver. That's it. We're not talking about like, wow, this machine can do all these amazing things that have never before been seen. No, we're just talking about taking the driver. We no longer need a driver, and the machine does what it's already been doing. All right. Artificial intelligence. Oh, somebody's calling me. Artificial intelligence and automation are the new farmhands as growers try to boost productivity amid soaring global demand for food, biofuels, and other agricultural products. They're talking about the whole wonderful new gasoline you can buy, which is absolutely terrible for your vehicles. All right, let's go into this. Why it matters. Farmers one day will be able to manage their fields from their kitchen table using a smartphone or tablet to drive machinery, inspect plants, and irrigate or treat crops with fertilizer or insecticides. They can already do that. They've been doing that for years now. Artificial intelligence and automation are the new farmhands as growers try to boost productivity amid soaring global demand for food, biofuels, and other agricultural products. Biofuels, we all know what that is. That's your ethanol, which of course destroys carburetors and requires specialized fuel injectors / specialized spark plugs, iridium plugs, platinum plugs, etc. So basically where you're saving money in one area, you're spending money in another area, but wow, we made it better. Why it matters. Farmers one day will be able to manage their fields from the kitchen table using a smartphone or tablet to drive machinery, inspect plants, and irrigate or treat crops with fertilizer or insecticides. But they will not be able to do that when it breaks, because it will break, because what do we do with farm machine? We use it until the wheels fall off. And this new technology is not going to be able to go ahead and work when the wheels are almost about to fall off. But hey, here we go. And remember, I grew up on a farm. Okay, I know Kubotas. My dad had a Kubota that was purchased in the same year that I was born. Okay, I know Kubotas. I've got a L series Kubota. I got a T-Series Kubota, and I got a push Kubota. I like Kubota. I'm a big fan of Kubota. Kubota has paid me no money to do this saying I like Kubota. It's just, like the Ford truck that we have, the Ford family truck. That's the family farm truck. We use the Ford because we that's our brand. Kubota is our work machine brand. I would never put a Ford through what I do with a Kubota. I would never do that. I would never do that. All right, driving the news. Agriculture machinery giant Deere and Company last week acquired Bear Flag Robotics for $250 million. All right, why are they doing this? It is probably the smartest move that, does it run like a deer? It's probably the smartest move that they've ever done, which is to go ahead and figure out the automation factor with their John Deere machinery. Here's the thing, though, and I think this is important. John Deere has had a couple of lawsuits down the line about the cost of repairing machinery. They're not cheap to repair them. And when you get into these big machines where you need a lowboy, if you don't know what a lowboy is, the big trailer that goes low onto a fifth wheel, onto a semi-truck setup, those tend to be extremely expensive to fix. So a lot of people were trying to basically rig computer programs off of systems they purchased from somebody in Europe to go ahead and run their machine, because their machines were highly automated, and the moment something would break, the machine would go, "Oh, we can no longer work. That thing is leaking. Whoa!" Everything leaks in the farm industry. Oil, hydraulics, everything leaks. Everything leaks. So they had to basically go to Europe, get a hacked version of the program, they upload it doing their thing, and they keep the machine working. All right. Oh, but the machine's no longer safe. Nothing's ever safe on a farm. It's just not. That's why a lot of people are missing a finger. That's how it is, all right? Driving the news. Right, okay. The 4-year-old Silicon Valley-based startup develops autonomous driving technology that can be retrofitted on existing machines. It's the latest step in Deere's long-term effort to automate farming. The 4-year-old Silicon Valley-based startup develops... In 4 years, the company became a $250 million purchase. I'm in the wrong business. The big picture, with the United Nations predicting the world population will grow to 9.7 billion people by 2050, the agriculture industry says it will need to double the amount of food, feed, fiber, and bioenergy it produces. Yep. That doesn't even include the animals. To boost output, the industry can either farm more land, putting more pressure on the environment, or farm the land it has more productively. Wait a minute, let's read that again. To boost output, the industry can either farm more land, putting more pressure on the environment, on the soil, or farm the land it has more productively. I don't know why I keep pronouncing that incorrectly. This paragraph does not make sense. If they've already got machines that can do the job, and the machines that can do the job are already putting that pressure on the dirt, and you're already putting chemicals into the dirt to get the dirt to recover as quickly as it can, then how would autonomous machines, where we just get rid of the driver, make it more productive? This is a bad paragraph. Think about it. I'm going to read it again. To boost output, the industry can either farm more land, which they're going to have to, putting more pressure on the environment, or farm the land it has more productively. Yeah, that's an interesting selling point that is not going to work here. Because if you're farming the land a heck of a lot already, then just farming the land a heck of a lot already, plus some more, is going to affect the environment even more. Anyways, but let's keep reading. Somebody wrote this, and I don't think they were thinking. Yes, but there aren't enough farm workers. Agricultural jobs are projected to grow just 1% from 2019 to 2029, slower than other occupations, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Many farmers are turning to technology to fill the skilled labor gap. Between the lines, think of a farm as a huge outdoor factory with time-sensitive processes that need to run efficiently for all year long. This reminds me actually of a story. My dad owned a winery back in the day, and one time one of the workers came to him and asked for a wage, and my dad looked at him and said, "I have bad news. That machine there has just replaced you." True story. And it sounds like, oh, how could he do that? Oh, because he bought the machine with the implement he needed to go ahead and do the thing that person was doing. This is just a modern, autonomous version of what happened back in the day. It's just going to keep happening. Each step, preparing the soil, planting seeds, nurturing plants. And harvesting crops has a narrow window of opportunity. They're selling it like, oh, we're never going to work it out. How will we ever make this work? We've only been working it out for the entire existence of the human population since we've been able to farm. If you miss it because of a lack of labor or what, it's like this was written for people who don't understand basic farming. That's what I'm getting from this. Like, this article was written from the perspective of somebody who's never seen a cow, never milked a cow, never seen, lines of whatever, some produce, some whatever that they're going to farm out of the land. So to me, reading this, I'm just like, this is not at the level that I was hoping this article would be written at. If you miss it because of a lack of labor or weather, it has a significant impact on the overall output of that crop, says Dan Liebfried, Deere's Director of Autonomy and Automation. Okay, first of all, they're not going to miss when they have to plant. They've been doing it for their entire life. Second of all, the most important thing about what's going on with crops that's a problem, especially for bananas and oranges, is essentially the viral, bacterial issues and funguses that they're running into with them. So, which wasn't, it has a significant impact on the overall. Okay, miss it. If you miss it because of the lack of labor or weather, that's not even the major thing that's the problem right now. The major thing are viruses, bacterial infections on the plants, and fungi problems, or fungal problems. I'm not sure. I think it would be fungi because of before, but anyway, whatever. COVID-19 has highlighted how potentially fragile it can be, adds Bear Flag Robotics co-founder and CEO Gino Cafiero. I guess not anymore for Bear Flag. Doesn't own it anymore. We're helping growers take variables off the table and increase output. Are they really, though? They're just getting rid of the drivers. So are they really? I mean, it'll be cheaper to make the food, but it's not going to be that much cheaper. State of play. Deere first installed GPS technology in its machines in 1993 to create more precise maps of farmers' fields. That led to self-guided tractors by 1999. Remember how I was saying they've had this for decades? There you go. Farmers were still in the cab, but they could focus on other details like planting. And remember, I know this. I grew up on farmland. I grew up on a farm. I grew up around farms. I've been around farms a long time. I really like open country roads. That's why when I listen to music, I don't mind country. By 2011, they started connecting those machines to the internet, giving growers access to telematics data. I don't even know what that is. I'll have to look that up. Obviously, it's something that gives you GPS integrated with machine movement. Data to make better decisions more quickly. In 2015, Deere purchased Blue River Technology, whose cost-saving see and spray system uses cameras and deep learning to identify the individual plants. If it sees a weed, it'll spray it with pesticide. If it sees an unhealthy plant, it can apply fertilizer. That's a good thing. That's an important thing. I mean, I'm sure the cost of that was extreme, and the person that normally would have done it as a job didn't cost much to begin with. But hey, you know what? Look, that's the future. Let's keep rolling towards it. Now, with the full autonomy that Bear Flag Robotics brings, farmers can till their fields with no one in the tractor. $250 million to get rid of the driver. And remember, to me, $250 is like a number that's not even imaginable other than what it looks like physically on a piece of paper. I'm not a rich attorney. I've never been a rich attorney. I've never had unlimited funds. Look at the PI attorneys. They're the ones that make tons and tons and tons and tons of money. I'm not that person. I work for literally the disabled and the chronically homeless who are trying to get SSI that can't get SSDI. So, in that regard, that's why you always see me bitching about my student loans, because the student loans, to pay them back, requires this much per month, and I get this much per month. So, What to watch. Despite the overall shortage of skilled farm labor, the BLS expects jobs for agricultural equipment operators to jump 11% between 2019 and 2029, much faster than the average for all occupations. The BLS expects jobs for agricultural equipment operators to jump. So what they're trying to do is find a way to not employ people, which should make it cheaper by, instead of charging, $100,000 for a machine to make the farmer pay $200,000 and then not have to pay that person, which financially makes sense over a 10-year period. As with automated trucks, it may well be a supervisory role. Yeah, you're still going to need somebody there making sure it doesn't eat the plants. That's it. All right, that's it. All right, thoughts on this? It's not that big of a deal. It's a big deal is having autonomous vehicles to drive people from point A to point B. Not a big deal is having autonomous machines. That's yes, you'll save money. The farmers will save money. Yes, we won't employ as many people. Yes, it's sad. Farmers will basically not have as many farm hands, but they'll be able to go ahead and have the machinery doing this. But what they don't mention in that article is something that I feel is just the most important factor, which is upkeep. Financial upkeep of these machines. You get a hydraulic thing that you don't know how to change out. Guess what? You're paying a lot of money. And these Deeres, you go on Google. Big John Deere machine, big commercial, big industrial John Deere, Cat, Kubota. Well, Kubota makes little machines for the most part compared to that. But you go look at these. These machines are huge. A lot of you guys are like, oh, that's like that's like a big dually truck, right? No, a dually truck is a cute little baby truck compared to the size of these machines. These machines are massive. They cost $500,000. Some of them cost $1 million when you get all the stuff you need for them. So my point is this, guys, and this is incredibly important. This is not going to change that much. John Deere felt $250 million as an investment was wise. It very likely was. They bought that company cheap and probably still have the same people that were working at it right now. But the reality is this is their way of connecting back with, I think, the industry. What I see in Florida are most people buying Kubotas now. The Kubotas, in my opinion, just do a better job. They're more stoutly built. They do, in my opinion, they're fuel hogs, but God, the power of them, and they can take so much abuse. They're just incredible. I think the run like a deer, John Deere, has to get back some of that relationship that it has with the American people because they lost a lot of that clout. Like Ford Motors lost a lot of that clout that Chevy and Dodge have been taking from them. So I just want to point to you guys, somebody's trust in a machine is incredibly important. And if somebody's going to buy a machine with a special box built into it that allows it to drive around a field by you clicking a button, you better make it damn simple for these farmers to be able to teach their second hand, their right hand, their left hand man or woman to go ahead and operate it. You better make it just easy as cherry pie to go ahead and figure that out, because I'm telling you, the people that are going to be buying this, they've got to have other people running it, and those other people running it, even if they have a college education, are maybe not going to have a coding education, which some of this may be required to do. I know you'll make it simple. I know John Deere will do a good job, but John Deere has been known to play the Apple game, like Apple computer game, where to replace that part it'd be almost cheaper to just buy a new machine. They do play that game, and they got sued over that game. So my point is this, guys, when it comes to cheaper food, this is a step in the right direction, but look, when I say this, don't try to shoot me with this stuff. Don't try to go after me, but if it were up to me, I would set up a system, kind of like a parking garage, where you had levels of plants growing. Level. That could handle heavy concrete, loads of weight. You could drive the machines and farm the machines, have so much dirt there. And you could just keep doing level after level of growth. These giant, parking looking like buildings where they could farm, 50 acres of this giant multi-leveled system. I would do something like that. But I don't have money to do something like that. So, you guys figure it out. All right. My name is Attorney Walter Knott. If you like this channel, please like, subscribe, leave 5 stars, the way you leave 5 stars in the comments below. Please remember, I go live 8 to 10 every Thursday to go ahead and answer questions for anybody that wants to call in. 8 to 10 Thursday Eastern Standard Time. Remember, disability law questions. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. I'll catch you a little bit later, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.